There we go. So, hello there. Shavua Tov. Well, actually, it's the second day. But anyway, but it's still the beginning, in some sense, of the week, right? 2 days in the beginning. Yep. So Shavua Tov would probably not be a bad, but usually you would say it in. But in regards to the weekend, people usually also say it like 2 days at the last part or something like that. So, but anyway, and of course, one of the days is actually the wrong day of saying it. So that's how it is. But anyway, I was thinking, I don't know, I'm not sure in regards of my mind is like, you know, yeah, I've made some food in regards of the sheep hearts and all that. Pretty tasty actually, pretty good. Tasted a little of sheep. It wasn't as bad as if you don't like the taste of sheep or wool. It wasn't as bad as the kidneys. And again, the liver pretty much doesn't taste as sheep at all. In some sense, it tastes like calf liver. But anyway, I used wine. Let's see if I can find it. I used some wine to, I don't drink alcohol and all that, but in regards of cooking, it said, you could use. I have also used in regards to the lamb at the Passover. I used some, but I didn't drink any. In regards of cooking, it got to the bottom, and I nearly gave it. I should have put some water in it or something like that. It was, very low, so I didn't drink any of it afterwards. Of course, the alcohol should have disappeared. And the same thing in regards of this one. I cooked it for 1 hour and a half or something like that, and then I thought, well, they say you should, but that's only if some are talking about that you need to cook it in a long time in regards of because of the stiffness of the meat and something, it's a little chewy, it's a little gummy, and some people apparently don't like that because it doesn't like meat, but I like actually the chewy thing. I think it's kind of nice. Chew, nom, 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 But anyway, so now this time in regards to the hearts, I got this wine, and I just put it all in and all that, and I just got terrible in some sense headache of the wine, and I'm thinking maybe it's not the alcohol because I didn't get drunk or anything. I didn't get affected in regards of an alcohol buzz or anything at all. But I still have, my head still hurts of drinking some of the fluid from it, which also was, I put other things in it. Yeah, I put this in it, and I put, what do you call the other thing? Let's see, see if I can find the name of it. Cream, some milk cream in it as well, and a lot of spices, a lot of garlics and all that. But I was thinking maybe this was actually the sinner in some sense of getting headache, and I tried to find out what is actually in it and all that, but contains sulfites. I'm not sure what for, but I remember something in regards of actually getting headache from wine, not in regards to the alcohol, but I don't remember what it was. It's so long time since I actually bought wine and all that. So. But anyway, so I was looking into in regards of some food as well. Like they have this. Let's see. They have this. I have a Jew actually writing me back here. Let's see what he says. It's not as far as. Okay, he didn't get offended by what I wrote. That's at least nice. A lot of Jews tends to get offended pretty quickly by what I write, Anyway, your way would be Dakaya, but that is not a name as far as I know. My break is over to work. Have a good day. Yom Tov. Yom Tov. And Yom Tov, Eli. He has a good name, a good Hebrew name, Eliezer, which means, what was it meaning? My God is my help, or my God is my helper. So, but anyway, I don't think he got the thing in regards to the name of God again. Maybe not all Jews know it and all that. So, but I pretty much wrote to him, without actually using the name or the title or anything. But I don't think he actually got it. But anyway, that's okay. But he talks about another name as far as I know, and that's great because it's a unique name in regards to Darkiyahu. I've been looking into. I've got another Jew from Tel Aviv that I've been talking to, and then another Jew from Israel that I met first time I was in Israel, and has helped me correct my mistake in regards of Darkiyahu, which I thought was Eliyahu, right? Eliyahu means my God is Jehovah, and I was like, okay, so Eliyahu means my God is Jehovah. So El is God, right? And Eli, I think, must be then. So I thought, oh well, we have Derek is way, and I was like, okay, so Yahu would be my way is Jehovah. But apparently that's not totally good grammar, apparently. So apparently it's Darkiyahu, and I actually looked into the Bible, and it, many of the, I think there's like 2 or 3 times where Derek is used as Darki, and Darki, which says in at least 2 of the translations, I think, my way. So my way. So Darki is my way. Yahu we know is Jehovah. So Darki, my way, Jehovah, or my way is Jehovah. In a short form, So that's and I got confirmation from the guy in Tel Aviv. He pretty much wrote what I wanted it to mean, so that's good. But what was it? Yeah, he of course used God as in the title. Of course. I'm not sure if it's of course, but many of the Jews don't say the name of God and all that, and don't write it and so forth. And so he used the title instead of the name. So that's fine with me. I know what he know what he means. So, but anyway, I'm doing some research in regards from Cockwriter again, and doing some research in the Nazarenes, and I think my mind needs a break. There's just so much overwhelming information that we have just been deceived and led astray from. And in regards of practicing some Hebrew, some Greek, I actually found a program also for Aramaic, but sadly my video got lost. I had made a video on the mobile and all that, but apparently it corrupted the video afterwards. So apparently it's not always working good. So that's great. Anyway, so I was on this website from Cockwriter, COG Writer, Church of God. And they have so much good stuff. Now I'm not saying that they still use Paul and all that, but at least they are, I think, absolutely on the way that I want to go. They have something in regards to the 10 tribes as well, doctrine that I'm not. I don't think that's a doctrine. I have had a book on it, and something I found in the book, and I tested it because I knew it was something in regards to the Danish horns and all that, and I knew I could find out in regards to that information. Now, of course, today we have the internet, so it's very easy to actually test these things. And he's like, in the book, he was right. He was like, it's surety of surety that that the Danes and we have these horns, and I think he actually took just only one horn, and there was Hebrew writings on it and so forth. I was like, okay, I can actually test that, and I tested that, and no, that doesn't look. I just took it out from. Of course, at that time when he wrote the book, it may not have been so easily tested, and you may not have lived in Denmark, so you may not have access to the information in regards of how the horn was actually looking and all that. But now we have a copy from Russia, and we have images of the horns and so on. Anyway, in regards of what things that was on it, and anyway, pick, and of course we don't have the originals because someone thought they were, apparently made them into. It would have been nice with the originals, because now one of course could make the theory or the response back, well, we don't really have the original, so the copies that we have and so forth. But one of them was made a copy for Russia, and I'm not sure if it actually returned, but they have a copy that one of the kings apparently had made from one of these. The question is, of course, would it be before the originals got destroyed? And I think it was before the originals got destroyed. So anyway, I don't want to go into all these things. So anyway, the website, they are keeping the Sabbath. They have a lot of truth for sure. This COG writer, pig and beef blood used in food supply, and then talk about the meat glue. First pink slime, now meat glue. Apparently, meat glue also used from pigs. Apparently, a blood-based addictive developed in the Netherlands as part of the processed food supply. First pink slime, now meat glue. Okay. So they have something in regards of apparently, of course, if this is actually from the blood and all that, we're not allowed to eat blood according to the Bible and all that. So I was just looking into a little of that. And then I remembered in regards of the wine that also, when I was at a vacation many years ago in Gran Canaria or something, Gran Canaria, in Spain, I think, the islands of Spain and all that. And I remember being on this trip with my grandmother, and I have to ask her in regards to this because she was with, she may remember something of the information that we were told. But as I remember these animals that we got this small plastic bag, and this small plastic bag, there was a lot of animals, small insects in it. We call it insects today. Small, may actually be small beetles, but at least some small, or what was it called? Small, something lice maybe? Anyway, maybe it was lice. In any case, lice, beetles, insects, whatever, these small things at least. And the thing is, if you actually killed them, they were filled with this red thing, And as I understood it from that trip, if I remember correctly, she told that actually in regards to red wine, that they actually used the color from these insects to actually color the red wine, at least sometimes. Now, of course, the red wine also gets its colors from the grapes, but it seems like that they are also using it sometimes in red wine. And I'm like, we're not allowed to, that's unclean food and all that. So what they do with these insects, as I understand, I read a little about it. And what they do with these insects is apparently, destroy them. And apparently, they have some powder also of them where they apparently take the water out of it and have this powder, which they apparently can use as a coloring in food. But if that is actually an unclean animal, the only insects that we are allowed to eat is those that can jump and fly. Those that have the leg above the body and can jump or fly. Those. And actually, when I was in Israel, I found this huge. I think it was actually bigger than this. I found this huge. What do you call it? What is it called in English? But those that can jump and fly and all that. And I got it. I collected it and all that. I then found out that I didn't eat it. I set it down again. After I had taken it. But apparently one of the reasons that I could actually take it with my hands, I was pretty quick to do it. So who knows? But usually they used to be very good to jump. You really need to be quick and all that to actually get them and so forth. But it's possible. It's possible to get also some of the small ones. Your children when you're going around as a child and trying to collect those. If you're quick enough, you will catch them. And But again, I'm not sure which one you're actually able to eat and which you're not able to eat in regards if is there any one of those that are poisonous or anything. But anyway, it's clean animals. But I got this huge one, and apparently one of the reasons that I could actually collect it was fixing eggs or something like that into the ground. So when I set it down again, it began to fix it back behind down in the earth again and lay eggs again and all that. So because I was thinking, when I set it down, I would expect it to just fly away or jump away very quickly, but it just so it was actually so that was the reason. But anyway, and that would have been a really good meat. What do you call it? Eating a really good eating, I think, in some sense. If it was green. I actually have pictures of it on, I think, from my first trip. Just a little fire and just roast it a little on the fire, and that would probably be a good eating, But anyway, I haven't tried such things. Crickets, is it called crickets or something like that? I think crickets or something like that. Anyway, so the crickets are actually clean food according to the Bible, and but I haven't really tried much. But I wouldn't have that. They usually eat green stuff and all that. So yeah, it's where the other insects are less, some of the insects just smell so bad, and those are unclean also according to the Bible. So anyway, like beetles, some beetles really can be very smelly when you have had them in a thingy. I remember from childhood when I collected beetles, and I'm not sure what the other, you collected insects and you put them in a and it's just smelled after some while. Anyway, in the thing. So anyway, I was looking into it and trying to find out in regards also of the wine, because I couldn't actually find this coloration apparently used in wine. It was used in many other food sources. It's called, let's see if I can get an image of it. Should have, here we go. Doesn't really look tasty. Uh-oh, can I actually turn the camera around? Uh-oh, I cannot turn the other camera around. I need to, you see? Uh-oh, this is very hard to do. I cannot turn the camera around. Apparently, that is a feature that apparently apparently have stuff with. But you can see those weird insects here. Doesn't really look tasty, does it? And they have a picture of where they have collected them, and apparently they use this Dactylopius coccus costa. Apparently they use it as coloring in foods and all that. Hey, it's very funny that, not funny, it's really weird that, in regards to Facebook, that you can actually turn the camera around, but a normal camera program on the mobile, it's not possible to turn the camera around. You got to be kidding me, Anyway, here's another reason to stop eating processed foods, especially anything red. Well, why is that? Well, because the cochineal, I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right. The cochineal dye has been around for centuries. Today, it's commonly used in frozen meat, fish, soft drinks, energy drinks, powder drinks, alcoholic beverage. And that's probably also in regards to wine. Yogurts, ice cream, candy, syrup, fillings, chewing gum. Remember the red chewing gums? Anyway, canned fruits like cherries, jams, dehydrated soups, ketchups, and more. Starbucks use cochineal dye in their strawberry, frappuccinos, and other foods for a long time before they announced back in 2012 that they would stop. Anyway, so the one reason for people being a little upset about this is in regards of vegetarians, but we are looking at it from the biblical point. The cochineal insects are native to Mexico and South America. They live on the cactus plant. Now I'm not sure if it's the same insect that they're using in regards of this place, but when I was in Gran Canaria, it seems to be I've tried to search, it seems to have, being able to actually search the same animals. But anyway, female insects eat the red cactus berries, which concentrate the color in their body, so it becomes red and all that. There are two methods used to harvest them, and here we have a picture of them. If you can see it, is it actually watchable? I need to go a little that way. Okay, the camera is there. So there you go. These are the insects, or the beetles, or the lice, or whatever, lice or something like that. Apparently, that they take and they from these cactuses, and they here's different ways of doing it, and they apparently then chop them off and smash them and make them into a powder, and the powder you can then use as a dye. And apparently I'm not sure in Denmark, but apparently it's illegal. They show where you can see if it let's see. If you are a little grossed out, be sure to look at all your food labels. Anything that has a slightly pink or red color is suspect. Now the FDA, we know is not for the man. To my research in regards of when I was in the, truth movement thing, which seems to be, in some sense, infiltrated. Sadly, anyway. The mask and all that. It's like, okay, why would you put a Catholic mask on that actually, in regards of destroying the Protestant government at that point that rejected, anyway. Now the FDA, maybe you should read some history in regards to that. Why would you ever? And again, truth is not hiding behind a mask. So anyway, that was one of the main concerns I had when they began to use the mask. It's like, truth are not hiding behind a mask, having all these Guy Fawkes mask and all that. And again, if you know the story, it's in regards of Romanism trying to destroy the parliament of Protestantism, that have rejected Rome. So anyway, now the FDA requires that certain foods made with cochineal extract or carmine specifically declare the presence of the color additive by its respective common unusual name, cochineal extract or carmine, in the ingredient statement for the food label, and they show a food label and all that with that. But it's like they're using insect in the food. Well, according to the Bible, those animals would be unclean animals. So I was looking a little around because, of course, they had in regards of the alcohol beverages and all that. But I looked for a source that actually had directly in regards of being used in wine, because as I remember in regards of being on Gran Canaria or something like that, the islands of Spain and all that. When you pretty much push the bag and the animal or the insect, and it would be red and all that. You could see all the red color coming out of these insects and all that. And as I remember, this tour guide told us that they were using it for red wine. That's the only thing I can actually remember in regards of what she told. But I was a little like, well, doesn't the red color actually comes from the grapes? And as I understand it, it actually comes from the skin of the grapes. And I actually found a source that says that sometimes even red grapes or blue grapes actually sometimes makes a white what do you call it, wine. That is actually the skin that actually makes the color of the wine. So you need to have the skin in the fermentation and all that, and not only the. But I'm not sure if it, if you're selling red wine and it's not red enough, maybe you would actually use some of this wine, some of this insect color, so-called color. Anyway, so I found this website, Lexilogy Library. Okay, TTB to require labeling of cochineal extract and carmine, that was from these animals, in wine. And malt beverages. I'm not sure what malt beverages is. Malt, can't remember. It's a long time since I make malt or whiskey, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, so apparently, according to this, they are actually using color, or at least some of them. It's a possibility, that actually this insect is used in wine. Now, probably not the reason why I got a headache in regards to the wine. There may be some other things. There's some sulfites. I can't remember. I think I've read about it beforehand, but I've lost it in my head. But it talks about contains sulfites. Not sure if that could be anything. I need to look that up. Anyway, in any case, I think that's the sinner in regards of making my head hurt. So I'm not going to use red wine, I think, in cooking anymore. Of course, I use the whole bottle also, just to make make a good soup, in some sense, a soup out of it. Not soup as such, but get the meat filled up and all, filling up and the meat being down in it. Anyway, of course you could use other things. You could just have used water, or there's still the cream thing. Anyway, the U.S. Alcohol and Tobacco Tax and Trade Bureau, TTB, has issued a final rule ordering the disclosure of the presence of rochyneal extract and carmine on the labels of any alcohol beverages containing one or both of these color additives. So apparently they're using it, and apparently they were not. That's the thing, when you're buying food and all that, they should put every single ingredients that is in the product. They shouldn't try to hide things away, and all those e numbers and all that. Just come on, there's a lot more space, for example, on this bottle to actually have have a bigger way of actually being able to read it. It doesn't need to be small. You have a lot of but of course they usually just put they need to have what do you call it, fit for everything. You don't really you just need to know what is actually in the product, instead of it's apparently not that easy to actually just get some good information. That's going back to the years ago when I tried to search out these things. Anyway, according to the TTB, the rule responds to the Food and Drug Administration (FDA) regulation that took effect on January the 5th, 2011, and requires manufacturers to label these two additives on all foods and cosmetic products due to the potential of severe allergic reaction. Oh, big surprise! Allergic reactions from something God said was unclean, Oh, yeah, it's the same thing in regards to other unclean animals like lobsters and clams and all that, where people are getting reactions or getting really sick of actually eating these things. But yeah, aren't we all going to continue eating them apparently? So, effective March the 16th, 2012, with a final compliance date of April the 16th, 2013, the TB rule notes that FDA does not compel labels to disclose the cochineal extract and carmine are derived from insects. Okay, so they do not compel the companies selling to apparently say that it actually comes from insects, derived from insects native to subtropical South America and Mexico. But again, if I remember correctly, you can actually, when you actually look those insects up and search on Gran Canaria, I actually been able to find some images. Yeah, here we have. They're actually the images, the Dactylopios Cocos Costa Gran Canaria. I searched and I found the cochineal. It seems to be harvesting the cochineal, and it's called the Dactylopios Cocos Costa. Apparently, the long form of the word, or something like that. It's in. I'm not sure if it's called brackets of parentheses. Let's have a look. There's a lot of images here. So these are the insects. Cochineal, and then we have Dactylopios Cocos. on prickle pear. That's the plant, I think. This is from Canary Islands, Spain, and Europe. So it seems like they are also over here. And why shouldn't they also be over here, as they are over in South America and in the warmer climate? And here you see where they apparently, dye something. Wool dyed crimson with cochineal produced by the scale insect. So they say it's an insect. Dactylopios cocusa. Can you see anything? Not sure. That's probably not the best on the screen. But anyway, so it's red. But the thing is, if we are in the Bible told to not eat any insects and so forth, maybe it's not a good thing to actually eat this dye, so-called dye from an insect. We're actually, they're putting insects in our food. It's disgusting, isn't it? They're actually putting in, and yeah, here we have some, how the insects are actually looking like. Yeah, here we go. See if we can see it. So here we have apparently the insects and how it is on the, and apparently some of them, maybe the children can fly or something like that. But anyway, that's a sketch of the insect and how it sits on the plant, and 6 legs, so that insects would probably be classified as an insect, because normally those small insects, which are called insects, have 6 feet. Like, for example, the spiders are not called insects because they have 8 feet. And then we have all those with a lot of legs, which again is not an insect, according to. But again, according to the Bible, it's just, I think it's creeping things. I'm not sure what the best translation would be for it, but something to look into. Let's I would much rather use the definitions used from the Bible and not the definitions of, so-called clever people, that things like a chicken is a dinosaur. But yeah, you can't say anything against us in regards of, that when we say that a chicken is a dinosaur, because we make the rules, we make the, I can't remember the word anymore, I lost it, but we define it. Oh yeah, we define it. He tells the people that they can't really say anything against the thing that a chicken is a dinosaur, because we define it. Like, oh yeah, that sounds very smart. Oh, you defined it, a chicken as a dinosaur. Yeah, that just makes it true because you define it, It's just the insanity of man sometimes. It's just... Anyway, here's some of the products also. You can see a fruit product. Apparently instead of fruit, they apparently is from Danone fruit, something boysenberry, and apparently they also use color of this insects. Apparently have some juice, some this and that, and so forth. So cochineal is a dye made from dried and ground female bodies of the scale insect Dactylopios cocosta. Powdered cochineal is dark purplish red. The cochineal is carminic acid, and so forth and so forth and so forth. But anyway, so we got from the website that they were not forced to actually tell that this colorization is actually from, according to this website anyway. TTB rejected one comment that called for listing the additive source despite industry concerns that some consumers would find the thought of insects derivatives unappealing. As the Bureau concluded, such disclosure was not necessary in order for consumers to have adequate information about the product and to allow persons with sensitivities to cochineal extract or carmine the opportunity to avoid ingestion or contact with these additives. Additional details about FDA's final ruling and TTB's proposed rule appear in issues 287, 296, and 371 of this update, apparently. Anyway, so as I get it from this, it's, the FDA apparently forced them to it's a pretty good thing, to actually write if there's actually this thing in it, or if there's one of these two things in the things. But they're not up. They don't need to write that this is actually from insects, and that's the thing. We have a lot of room on the bottles and all that. Just you could even write it a lot larger. On the things. Instead of also writing it in millions of languages. Anyway, that's the or languages that you don't actually understand because the product comes from another place in the world and all that. Come on, we live in Denmark. We can read Danish, okay? Maybe Danish and English would be sufficient. You don't need more languages than that. English and Danish, that would be totally sufficient. We're living in Denmark. Come on. So anyway, so that's again, it's just annoying. So we have the meat glue. I think that was also something in regards to the meat glue in Denmark when it came forth and so forth years ago, and when I was researching that. But a lot of information you have a way of forgetting and all that when you don't use it. But pig and beef blood used in food supplies. One thing is to use the pig. Another thing is to use blood. So pigs are unclean animals. We should not eat those. And blood, we are commanded not to eat as well. But they are trying apparently to make us eat blood anyway, in putting it in different things that we'll disguising it. So the best thing that I can see in regards of for example the glue thing is actually it seems like there was a lot of product they could actually use it for. That's very terrible actually. But if you have a butcher, I actually need to ask the butcher that I bought I found this meat wagon butcher and all that, and I don't think they use such things. They have these products from sheep, for example, that as I understand it, they are thinking of actually they're selling a lot of pigs, sadly, but they had sheep as well. So, but anyway, but it looks like that they are going to sell sheep, as have sheep in the to sell sheep and all that. That's a good thing, but I don't think they would use those meat glue and all that. But I have to ask about it, of course, next time. They're very I think the guy that I talked to, very nice and all that, and it's not always sometimes sometimes you just, if you ask about if it's slaughtered to Allah or something like that, you just stand and look at you as you're like, are you out of your mind or something like that? And again, maybe the guy that I asked last time was thinking the same, but at least he took it. He was very friendly, very high. So, and he was very good at. He was actually very, very good to provide information and all that. So, yeah, that was wonderful. And again, I think the prices was pretty good. I think I got some good prices from him, so that's very good. But again, of course, the food, not slaughtered to Allah, not and so forth. I have some questions here and there, and it's nice to be able to, yeah. So that was pretty much it. Just looking into that. Yeah, pretty much. Maybe I shouldn't close all the. Maybe I could actually put them on Facebook. Some of these places. Again, I don't want to go more into the thing because my head is just. I need to have a break from it. I need to have a break overall. I think from doing all these studies. It's just also, taking all these things into consideration, and there's not really anything where you can actually buy these things, Would it be nice actually with a place where you didn't need to think about these things, where the shop itself has thought about it and checked up on all the things, If you are not going to say everything that is in your product, we won't sell it, If it's slaughtered to Allah, we won't sell it, And it would be nice actually to have a shop where you don't need to, you're standing down there and you have no idea, and you have all these E numbers, and it's like E number this, E number that, E number this, and you just okay, so you don't have a chance, do you? Of course, in regards of pigs, we can pretty much go around that. In regards of blood, like blood sausages, we can go around that. There may also be some pudding that one needs to go around in regards to that. It seems like in regards of the color thing, that's something to to learn then, because if they're using insects to color something, and why even use the color thing, if there's no, isn't it a little dishonest to use something just to make it look like something that it's really, shouldn't the natural color be enough? Apparently not. So maybe it's to make it look better than it actually is by using color. Anyway, or using, apparently in this case, insects, which is unclean animals. So you're putting unclean animals in a product that may actually be a clean product, but now it becomes, in some sense, defiled. Yeah, defiled is is maybe a good word for it. By unclean animals. So, but at least swine flesh is pretty easy to. Easy. It's of course many products actually have swine flesh and all that in it. It's just terrible. And of course, if you want to go to the lamb and the lamb and the ox and the chickens, you have to be aware that there's a possibility that actually has been slaughtered to Satan. You also have to be aware that it actually has been slaughtered and bled out, in regards of you're not allowed to eat it is not allowed to be strangled. But I think most of the ways of slaughtering animals today are pretty much, when you see the chickens, they chop off the head, or it's bleeding, it's so it looks like it actually allowed to bleed. I'm not sure about the other animals in regards to cows and sheep and so forth, but we're not allowed to eat anything that has died of itself. So again, it would just be nice to have someone out there, make a store or something where you maybe could order once a week or something like that, for the Christians that don't want to actually get into trouble in regards to food sacrifice to idols. It's an idea anyway, somebody could do it, and if the Christians actually took it more seriously, there would be someone would probably do it, because there would be some money in it, so he could, or they could, make it go around, and such, starting a company in regards to that and so forth. So, it's, but of course, if there's not much people that actually wants the service, well, there's not going to be, So, anyway, so I just saw, it was like from a Christian page where they also began to, in regards of, it's just, and, selling food that is sacrificed to false gods and all that. It's just horrible. Christians are falling, like, as I see it, the danger of eating all these things are that we are going to get defiled. There may be a reason why the council in Jerusalem told us not to eat anything that has been sacrificed to a false god, because it defiles us. And in regards to what way does it defile us? Well, if we look on other outside sources that talks about the subject, it is in regards of demons defiling us when we eat these things. So the thing is, we shouldn't do it. That's the main thing. We shouldn't eat anything that has been sacrificed or sanctified to a false god. In regards to sanctification, I think that would be in regards of the Catholic cookie Jesus. We have what was it? I can't remember. They was totally slaughtered by Romanism because they didn't want to take part in the Eucharist. And why is it so important for the Catholic Church that the people would take, take this Eucharist? Well, maybe it's because it's been sanctified to a false god, and the Christians, knowing the Bible and the scriptures, didn't want to partake in that, to defile themselves. I don't know. Could be, could it? I don't know. I don't want to take the chance anyway. That's how I see it. I don't want to take the chance to eat something that may actually defile me, even if it's not something that is slaughtered. Even if it's just a cookie and all that. So that's just my view. There may have been a reason other Christians down through history that tried to follow the Bible, didn't want to partake in the Catholic way of doing things. Anyway, so that's pretty much it. Not much on the. I'll post it on YouTube, whatever. Just posting it. It's more like a trial thing. Just posting it, and I need to. I actually have another account that I'm going to set up, I think, and try to, sing the Psalms in Hebrew, for example, with the name of God and so forth. That was, making it a little more seriously than just. Of course, it's all seriously, and all these things. That anyway, I'm going to make some lamb liver today, so that's going to be the last part of a lamb I have. So I need to call the butcher, the car butcher up, and see if they have more goodies in regards of liver. And mostly liver. It's not like the other things were bad in regards of the hearts and the. I would actually like to try it again. It's nice to actually have the possibility of actually having different things, which is not slaughtered to Allah and so forth. So instead of you going down to the shop and you don't know if it's actually slaughtered to Allah or not and all of that, and I can talk to the butcher here and he says it's not slaughtered. And the guy that has slaughtered them is not slaughtering to Allah and all that. So that's great. But I'll probably ask again and maybe again just to remind them, that I think it's important that it's not slaughtered to Allah. And if more people actually were, checking, that's in regards of Paul, of course. Oh, don't ask if you are at the meat market, just buy it for for conscience sake and all that. And it's just horrible how Paul has corrupted so many things. The best thing that I can keep away from Paul, I think, he's still a great witness in regards of who Jesus was and all that, but he also leads people into lawlessness, and he leads people into become viciously attacking the law of God. And that's pretty bad, I think. That's pretty. So I don't really. It's like reading Ellen G. White or what is it called, Joseph Smith. Why bother with all these things? Like, why not just go back to the source of the source? We have the Torah, we have the prophets, we have Jesus Christ. Why have any people? I don't know. Maybe I'm just. But of course, again, it fulfills the prophecy that Jesus talked about, that the good seed would grow up with the bad seed. We should expect it because Jesus is God and he knows what he's talking about, and he said that the bad seed would be sown after the good seeds that the Son of Man had sown. So it would be expected. Now, of course, we also know that the congregation or the church that rides the beast is a whore. And you can see images of a woman in regards to the Bible where, for example, the northern kingdom is seen as a woman, the southern kingdom is seen as a woman, and how God uses the, parables in regards of a woman and going whoring after other men and so forth, in regards of whoring, in regards of other gods and so forth. And so we have this whore sitting on the beast or riding the beast, who is drunk by the blood of the saints. So she's drunk with the blood of the saints. Now, what system in the world, in regards of history, is drunken by the blood of the saints? It's only one, I think. It's called Rome. Romanism. All roads leads to Rome, as I understand it. It's the only system you can find down throughout history, I think. Well, yeah, pretty much. At least, it seems to always go there, where they killed and murdered the people, you know, those that wanted to follow the commandments of God and the testimony of Jesus Christ and kept the commandments of Jesus Christ. And we have books about that, the book of, what's it called? The book of Martyrs or something like that. What's it called? I can't remember. But that was a big hit in the past, apparently. Fox's Book of Martyrs. That was many versions of that book has been there. Apparently, we don't know much about that anymore. But we can see the history of, how many cruel things that, just think about the Reformation. They tried to get the word out so people could read it for themselves. And the church system, or Romanism, tried to do whatever it could to not get the word out. That doesn't sound really biblical to me. Reading the Bible, God wants us to have the word and read the word and meditate on the word. He doesn't want us to keep it away from people, But of course, if your whole system is based on lies and deceptions, you don't want people to read the Bible because it exposes all those deceptions and all those lies. Right? Right. So anyway, So, pretty much it for me. There's nearly a whole hour for this and all that, and there's so much. We need more people standing for the truth. We need to wake people up. For sure. Anyway. Yeah, here's some more. You see the. Here's the thing, the dried thing. I'm not sure one can see it. And then they mix some. Look at that. Insects. Well, maybe you could actually take it as some, some fruit juice or strawberries or something like that. But it's insects. It's coming from insects. The dried bugs are crushed. So they take the bugs and crush them, according to this. A little water added to it and stir. So, okay. Whichever process is used, it takes 70,000 cochineal bugs to make just 1 pound of dye. Okay. It looks like they dry them or something. Okay, let's see. Once the insects are dead. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, all the insects are collected and the farmers put them onto a wooden plank. Okay. The farmer shakes the beetle for 5 to 6 minutes, and this eventually kills the insects while retaining the dark color. Okay, so they, actually the blood would still in some sense be in this. I'm not sure in regards of insects and blood and all that. That's the thing in regards of those jumping. I'm not sure if you should actually if you take the head off, is that coming blood out of an insect, or how does that work in an insect? I don't know. Anyway, because can you just chew the insect without actually chopping off the head and letting it bleed, or how does that work? Because insects are many times sold, just frozen down, right? In regards of these, I don't know. I haven't gotten that experience, It would, if the big one, the huge one I found in Israel would have been a good, way to actually find out if there actually is blood in an insect. So, it's huge, it's easy to see and so forth. I don't know. Anyway, so the beetles are shaking for 5 to 6 minutes, and then they die apparently. Once the insects are dead, they are left outside in the sun for 2 to 3 days to dry. Then they are shaken in a strainer to remove excess residue. Okay. Whichever process is used, it takes 70,000 cochineal bugs to make just 1 pound of dye. The dried bugs are crushed. So they crush the bugs. The whole bug is crushed. A little water added to it and a quick stir. Here your red dye, cochineal dye, comes in two forms, cochineal extract and carmine. Carmine is further processed to create a more purified coloring. Okay, so how does that work? Is the cochineal extract just the is it extract of the thing, or is it just, I don't know. And carmine is further processed to create a more purified color. No. If you're a little grossed out, be sure to look at all your food labels. Anything that has a slight pink or red color is suspect. Now the FDA requires that certain foods that contain foods made with cochineal extract or carmine specifically declare the presence of the color addictive by its respective common or usual name. Yeah, we gone through that before, but it's a little, it's just so hard, you can't even, you can't even buy a yogurt anymore and not be a little, what's is in the yogurt, it's just it's terrible, just have to be, Satanist, because the Christians are not standing for the word of God. We have all these issues, and Satan is just corrupting and corrupting and corrupting and corrupting, and you find out that it's just so many corruptions out there. It's just sad. Deceptions, lies, the whole system is just corrupted. Also in regards to the vaccines, I was looking in regards, we know the vaccines, bad vaccines, they put so many disgusting things in the vaccines and all that. But why are the doctors pushing vaccines? Is it because of your health they're pushing it? Oh, no. Money, 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 And that's the thing, you cannot serve God and mammon at the same time. You may know that the vaccines are actually damaging to people, but because you can get a lot of money pushing the people to get it, you just, you close your eyes, you don't see anything because you love money, 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 more money. You see, people can easily be corrupted by money, apparently. That's the thing in the Bible, also in regards of a judge, that a judge should are they really using that colorly thing in tomato ketchup? Oh boy. Heinz tomato ketchup? You don't say they're using it in tomato ketchup. Oh, here we have carmine in food, indigo, carmine synthetic food color. Okay, let's see. Where's the... No, it doesn't actually... let's see here, maybe it's here. The cochineal is an insect which is dried and ground and used to make red food color. And here they have using it in ice. Apparently ice product. Where was the thing with the tomato ketchup? Food grade. Apparently they think it's food grade when they... Cochineal. Come on, let's see. Food grade! Well, it's not food, Let's see. Oops. They call it food grade. Cochineal, carmine, food grade. Food grade. It's not food, it's from an insect, It's not something that should be in the food. Oh, here we have candy. Carmine is red food coloring that comes from crushed and boiled cochineal bugs. It's what? From insects! What does God tell us not to eat? Things that are from insects. Here we have another. Here we have an ocean juice. Let's see. I'm not sure if it actually picks it up. I don't know why one cannot turn the camera around in this. That you actually need a program outside. Actually, that was the other camera program, open camera, that maybe that can turn the things around when you're recording. I need to check that. But it's terrible that you cannot do it on. My old phone could turn it around. Of course, it has a way of crashing when I got the. No, but it has a lot of. This website has a lot of things where. But I would like to find the tomato. Here is candy, red candy, lipstick, red lipstick, insects. So when you're kissing your beautiful wife, you may actually be kissing, insect thing. You may actually, the red thing, it's just disgusting. It's just, it's not food. Natural food colorant. Well, natural in what way? According to God, we are not to eat anything that, we're not to eat an insect. This is insect. So, right, even if they refine it, it's still from an insect. Oh boy. No. Where's the... I want to find the ketchup thing. So, there's a lot of things, apparently. The ketchup, you would think that the color would just come from the tomatoes, right? Oh, it looks... Oh, here's the image. I'm not sure if it is true, but at least they have Starbucks coffee with some ice cream thing, a little red. Here we have some strawberries, apparently colored red by the box. I'm not sure why they... apparently it looks a little... Maybe it looks like that. I'm not sure. Here we have tomato ketchup from Heinz, apparently also using the box as coloring, apparently, according to this anyway. I don't know if there's something to check up. Here we have... Oh boy. Oh, I'm not sure. Should I say oh boy? Maybe I should say something else. Maybe it's bad to say oh boy. Maybe it's just oh wow. Something that is really bad. What do you say when something is... This is just bad. This is just bad. 9 foods made with crushed bugs. Yeah, really appetitely, right? I have some juice, some candy, some... Looks like more candy, some drink of some kind, the coffee thing with some ice or something like that from Starbucks. Some yogurt, I think it is. Some more yogurt, some kind of yogurt as well, super free gel and all that. Can you see it? I'm not sure if you can actually see it. Where's the camera on this? It's actually down there. Starbucks has announced they are reviving alternative food dyes to cochineal, as also known as crushed bugs. So you just call it what it is, right? But a strawberry frap isn't the only food you eat and colored by crushed bugs. But a strawberry frap isn't the only food you eat and colored by crushed bugs. Okay, so it's all these weird things. Ocean spray. I think there actually was some good. But So you see, there's a lot of images here in regards of this carmine in food. Here he has some images in regards of so-called natural color, 120 apparently. They have the number 120 here. Cochineal, carmine color. Okay. So just be aware of that in regards of also lipstick. Apparently, that color as well. I think about it, your women are putting on insects on there. And, if you're kissing a woman with that, you're probably getting some insect thing in you. And she's also probably getting some when you're going around with that, That's just disgusting. Oh, here we have the dry. I think it's the dried box here. Need to remember I'm not sure if I'm hitting the right thing because I cannot see it. It's just terrible. I can't turn the camera around. I need to find something else that actually has the ability to turn the camera around. How can you have a program which doesn't have the ability to turn the camera around? We're living in 2000 and something, right? According to the Roman calendar. Here's some ice or something like that. Also again red, apparently from these bugs. Here's a big image of these bugs. Yeah, let's just crush those bugs and use it as coloring in food. Just insanity. Man, it's just insane. Oh, does that look tasty? Does that look tasty? You know, I'm not sure. Is that red cookie or something? And some thingy here. I'm not sure what that actually is. And lipstick. Oh, it's the bark. You just, squeezed barks, putting on the lipstick. Yeah. Once want you really to kiss a woman, right? Oh, here we have some colorization in regards of that's like looking like some kind of unclean food anyway. We have this one. It looks like, but apparently maybe they used the coloring in regards to this, but it still looks like it from something unclean. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe it is just fish, but it looks like it could be from an unclean animal. But anyway, maraschino cherries. Oh, don't think the cherries are making the color, right? No, there are bugs in it. Here we have the lipstick, and here we have a juice of some kind. One thing is to eat some bugs that you cannot see and all that. By mistake and all that. Another thing is to let's just drip it with bugs. These things that we eat. But it is a red color. It's very red and all that. But it's not for eating. It's not for eating. It's not for eating. Oh my. That's the same thing in regards of you never know what things they have actually used in regards of clothing to actually color it. So, for example, this is white. It's not colored. It may have been bleached, but that shouldn't be a problem, I think. Of course, that depends on what kind of bleach they use. But I don't think that would be a big problem, in regards of making it white and all that. At least they don't put, color weird things in it. Not saying it is. I wonder in regards of blue color as well. Could that be a problem as well there? Oh my. Insect dye, carmine. Oh, here they have, of course, they have like breast on this. I'll take the breast away from the picture. And here we have it, insect dye, carmine. Again, so you see this man is laying on this woman with a red clothing on, and it's made from these insects. At least you're not eating it, but I would be a little, I'm not sure I would like to go around with something that has been made out of insects in regards of coloring. But at least it's not eating it. But, you still have, the skin is still taking things from, I don't know. I just, what color did they use? White is best. Actually, the last thing I bought was also white. Of course, the only problem with using, I actually have, I don't know if the things I color my blouses with are actually, that was like, but it could still have been made out of the red. It's not easy living in this world in regards of these things. Again, well, we just try to do the best that we can, right? Here we have some candy, it looks like, in regards of red. Wow, here it looks like some tomato thing, apparently also being... Here we have this weird thing again, which look like unclean food. I'm still not sure what it is. This thing, it looks like from crabs or something like that, but again, I'm not sure. But apparently all these things are made from... And again, this just looks like this tomato thing in regards of Mexico. Maybe they're, Mexico thing. Yeah, maybe they're also putting some color, so-called color, in that as well. Would be bad. So here we have the colorization again. Color. Here we actually have something that is not, it's more like blue or purple. Not sure what that is. Maybe it's still insects. Maybe it's another form of the insect. I don't know. Apparently it doesn't look used on pizza as well. So apparently the red thing to give the color red here is actually the insects. Apparently, it's not the tomatoes. It's just according to this anyway. So let's just put some insects in the product. Time to replace carmine. Okay, this is in the article in regards of. Thankfully, there's alternative expiry coloring foods. Yeah, apparently there are. Again, why use coloring in regards of if you are making a product, why would you need coloring to make the food look more tasty? Well, if the food is tasty, it will probably look tasty, right? Why do you need to mess around with it? So here we have some color shade. Is that in regards of the color, heat sensitive color shade? Apparently it looks like it goes from red pH. I'm not sure. Maybe this is, or maybe this is just in regards of a strip or something that is also used in regards to, I don't know, strips. I'm not sure. Oh, here we have some pink. So anyway, so carmine in food. Yeah. So anything red, I would have a problem with. Apparently, it seems like or could be a problem. Apparently, according to these. Sad. Here we actually have some black carrot color, beet red. No, that should not be of that. I'm not sure. Anyway, just interesting to see. Also, there was all other things in regards of bread. For example, they used like some commercial bread include a softening agent known as L-cysteine made from human hair, hawk hair, and duck feathers. Yeah, that sounds tasty, right? That's just hawk hair. Hawk, is that like hawk? That's like a swine, right? And that would be an unclean animal. So why do we even raise hawks, and pigs? Yeah, swine. You know what Jesus, did in regards of the swines and all that, and all the swines were jumping into the sea and all that. Yeah. Here we have in regards of gelatin. Gelatin is made from collagen, which is boiled connective tissue found in the bones. Yeah, I'm not sure that would actually be a problem. That was actually not the thing. I was actually. Here we have one. Lanolin is the oily secretion found in sheep wool or sheep sweat. Most sheep are also very likely to have been dipped in insecticides on the farm. These pesticides can accumulate in fat tissue. In regards to the lanolin actually helps the wool keep clean and all that. For example, if you have wool underpants and you have lanolin in it, it helps it keep clean. So this is just horrible to look at, So here we have the insects thing in regards to the coating of jelly beans and Skittles is made from crushed insects cocoons known as shellac, used to coat foods and give them that special shine and crowns. Yeah. Sounds tasty, doesn't it? No, absolutely not. I'm actually not. I shouldn't probably make what do you call it? Yeah, it's ironic in regards to that. So apparently the jelly beans and Skittles, a candy of some kind, apparently is made from insect cocoons. Doesn't sound tasty. Insects. If we're not to eat insects, maybe we shouldn't eat the insect cocoon. Cocoon. So let's see how they look. Okay. Here we have some images of insects cocoons, apparently. Here we have, what is this? Shellac. That must be after processing the shellac. Here we have the candy. Skittles and are made from crushed insect cocoons known as shellac, which is used to coat foods and give them that special shine. Here we have the insect. Looks tasty, right? No, absolutely not. Yeah, is that shellac cocoons? Not sure. Shellac coatings? I'm not sure. Do we have... Maybe this is... You are eating bugs without knowing. Oh, well, these bugs... No. Are they kosher? Is that... I'm not sure what kind of bugs these actually are. Are they kosher bugs? Oh, here we have different bugs used in food, apparently. I don't know. It's just terrible. Just terrible. Here we have the shellac again. The shellac flakes. Orange shellac is a traditional shellac used for decades to finish wooden wall paneling. So it actually also not only to eat, apparently also used in regards of making a coating. Shellac is a resin secreted by the female lag bug on trees in the forest in India. No, so it's a secretion. So it's actually not... I'm not sure about that. It doesn't look totally good, but anyway. Bugs. Now, for example, you have the honeybee, which is also an unclean animal, but we still eat honey, right? So, but still, the thought of it is just... oh well. Oh, here we have one of the clean insects. But again, I'm not sure if one actually should take the head off the insect before eating it. You know, the jumping... I'm not sure what they're called, but... what they call... We're eating more bugs than we... Yeah, no, let's see what it's called, this bug. Yeah. Well... At least there was some study in regards to that. Just terrible. This society. 5 horrifying food additives you're probably eating today. Let's see what they have. Shellac. Most everyone is familiar with shellac as a wood finishing product. It's often used to give furniture, guitars, and even AK-47s that special shine. But did you know it is also commonly used as a food additive? Yep, that's why those jelly beans you gorge on every Easter are so shiny. Well, Easter, of course. Easter is a pagan festival as well. So, would it be a big surprise? No. But what exactly is shellac? Are you sure you want to know? No, not really. Well, actually, I do. Yeah, I do want to know because I want to know what I'm eating, right? If shellac is derived from excretions of the Karyalaka insects most commonly found in the forest of Thailand. The Karyalaka uses the sticky excretion as a means to stick to the trees on which it lives. Doesn't really sound like food, does it? Candy makers use it to make those treats you love so much shiny and beautiful. Then you eat them, the insects, that is. You see, the process used to harvest the Karyalaka excretion is a pretty simple one. They just scrape the shit right off the tree. Unfortunately for you and your future enjoyment of shiny candies, this leaves little room for quality control measured to guarantee that the insects themselves aren't scooped up also. Once that happens, and it almost always does, the insect simply becomes part of the shellac making process and the candy making process and the candy eating process. Before some health nut out there pipes up to tell us they don't eat candy, we like to point out that during the cleaning process, apples lose their natural shine. Care to guess how it's restored? That's just bad. That's just so bad. That's just so bad. That's just so awful. If all of this is making you a bit queasy, we understand. I wonder what queasy is in Danish. Let's see that. Queasy. Little queasy. I think it's making me a little queasy also in the... this society, this world is just waiting for Jesus to come back and actually make, have this... it's like, okay, queasy. Maybe how do you actually say queasy?
Queasy.
Queasy, yeah. We understand. It's not every day that you find out that you've been celebrating the resurrection of Christ by consuming handfuls of insect-infused treats your entire life. Oh! But before you head in regards of Easter and all that, Easter is, of course, not a celebration of the Bible. Anyway, but before you head, it's going back to the pagan goddess, as I understand it. But anyway, before you head on to the medicine cabinet, consider this. That pill you want to take to quell your nausea, it didn't get shiny on its own. Alright, we swear this is the last time we'll mention that you've been eating insects for a good... we shouldn't swear. Anyway, so... Okay, so the coating of the pills could also actually come from bugs. So anything that is shiny is a good... I'm thinking of these, when I'm looking at this, I'm thinking of these things I ate when I was younger, and they tasted so good. And they had this thing around them where they were, I wonder what that was, Was I eating bugs? The worst thing is, in regards to the candy you can pretty much discount, right? But apples, before some health nut out there pipes up to tell us they don't eat candy, we like to point out that during the cleaning process, apples lose their natural shine. Care to guess how it's restored? Again, that's just horrible if that's the case. That's just... Then they have in regards of bone char, but I don't think bone char is actually... I'm not sure if they have something in regards to the sugar thing. When it starts sweet... Oh yeah, when it starts its sweet, delicious life, sugar is brown, a color deemed to be undesirable by the sugar industry. Actually, in regards of sugar, I actually liked brown sugar more than I liked white sugar. But anyway, it tasted differently, but it was nice. Now, of course, I have issues with my teeth because I did some of these health stuff in my... years ago, and I drank a lot of lemon juice and all that. Don't do that. It probably may actually damage your teeth as Coca-Cola or something like that if you drink too much. And I got very sensitive teeth after that. So I was very bad. I actually had something that actually was said to actually make it better. Tooth... I don't know. Anyway. So apparently some processes are actually being done in regards of sugar to take off the color. I would like to just the natural color of the sugar, Why process it even more? The sugar still tastes like sugar, right? The brown sugar is still tasty, and if we don't have anything else, we'll have to use the brown sugar, right? Instead of the more processed it becomes, the worse, right? I'm not sure what is in the brown sugar, but I'm probably something that is good in some sense. I don't know. At least something. Here we have carmine. That's the insect. Oh, here we have a picture of the same disgusting insect again. Now again, one thing is to eat an insect without, on a mistake. If you're eating a salad or something like that, or whatever, and you're ending up eating an insect or something, an unclean animal, okay, well, that's one thing, right? But, another thing is just to, use the insects and on purpose eat them. The problem is natural's flavor can literally be anything that isn't man-made. Categorin could be a natural flavor if someone discovered that goat cheese added a special zing to ice cream and they could prove that eating it wouldn't make you sick. Natural flavor. We're not saying either of these are in your foods, but you get the idea, okay, in regards of what they're using in regards of natural flavors and all that. Here we have something in regards of McDonald's. Mold, it was natural flavor to the rescue. Okay, so instead of actually using natural things, apparently the McDonald's, in regards to their French fries, they actually used beef lard, which would be okay according to the Bible, as long as the animal is not slaughtered to Satan. So I'm not sure why they would stop using that, but anyway. But apparently they didn't use vegetable oil instead. Apparently, pure vegetable oil, but that was a problem in regards to the tasting. So what do you do when the French fries doesn't taste as tasty as they did before when you actually use natural, what do you call it? Natural lard from the cows. Well, you begin to use some natural flavor apparently. Okay, so they added a little of the molten beef added. It was natural flavor to the rescue. Of course, they could just have continued using the thing they used in the beginning, but when vegetarian groups demanded to know what the mystery flavor was, company reps would only say it was animal derived. You won't believe what in your French fries. Oh, there's a horse here. They wouldn't say what animal. According to the book Fast Food Nation, beef is the probable source, although other meats cannot be ruled out. In France, for example, fries are sometimes cooked in duck fat or horse tallow. Horse. I'm not sure in regards of duck fat. Duck fat. I think duck are clean animals. Horse would not be a clean animal. So I'm not sure what tal is. Horse tallow. Not sure what that is. Again, it was much better when women were in the kitchen and bought the things and made it so you would know what you're actually eating. No idea what the thing talking about. And the images, horse tallow. Not sure. Tallow is a rendered form of beef or mutton fat that is primarily made up of blah blah blah. Okay. Some kind of fat anyway, but it's from a horse, so anyway. In 2006, the FDA approved the use of bacteriophage to fight Listeria microbes on lunch meat, wieners, and sausages. If you're unfamiliar with the term bacteria phobias, let us put it in a layman term for you. Yeah, thank you. Viruses. So they put viruses on the things. Yeah. Oh, anyway, that was a little. It's just disgusting. I'm not sure, the more processed the food, the bigger the chance that they have put something in the food, sadly. Oh boy. Anyway, that's pretty much it for now. I don't have much more. I think I should stop it now. The sun is pretty good as well at the moment. It could be better, but at least there are some sun. So anyway, I need to make some liver. I haven't had breakfast yet and all that. So some sheep liver. I have around a kilo sheep liver, and yeah, we made it with some onions and pretty much. I have the sauces from yesterday, but I'm not sure about that sausage. What do you call it, sausage? Yeah, the thing with the red wine and all that. But if I'm just getting pain in my head, that's probably not a good thing to actually drink. But I put a lot of good, things in it to spice it up and all that. But next time I'll not use this, That's for sure. I'll use some water or something like that instead. Maybe still use some cream and all that to make it creamy and all that. But this is not the way to go up, it seems. And again, I think that was something in regards not only the alcohol, but something else in the wine that actually make your head hurt. So not only do you get the problem in regards to the alcohol, if you actually drink it with alcohol, makes my head hurt. Let's see if there's not alcohol. See. Why does red wine make my head hurt? Let's see. Oh, here we have something. Recent research has found that food and drinks that have been aged, such as dry aged meats and red wines, can cause our body to release histamines and create these allergy type symptoms to prevent a histamine. To prevent a histamine headache, simply take a histamine blocker such as Claritin prior to having a glass of red wine. Oh yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Well, why not just don't drink the red wine, Can wine give you migraines? No one is quite sure why red wine may trigger headaches, but some studies have shown that tannins may boost production of the brain chemical serotonin. Changes in serotonin levels may trigger migraines. Migraines, is that like, where you have, headache? I think it is. And that was pretty much what I had a lot of yesterday after I ate the migraine. Let's just see what it says. So again, I think it's the red wine that made me. Now, of course, the red wine, of course, was the lot of the water was evaporating under cooking, and I ate a lot of it. Yeah, it's like headache, in some sense. To prevent it, blah 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 blah. Okay. Changes in serotonin levels may trigger migraines in susceptible individuals. Well, if you're getting headache of drinking something or eating something apparently like wine, well, and they just say, well, just take something before you drink the wet wine. Well, maybe I don't want to drink it. Maybe instead of actually taking something for the symptom, just don't drink it so you don't get the symptom, it's just, why do I feel, can cheap wine give you a headache? Yes, cheap wine can give you a headache, so can expensive wine. Some people point the finger at sulfites. You often find them more of these in white wines, but there was sulfites in this wine. It says contains sulfites. And again, I don't know what sulfites is, but anyway. You often find more of these in white wines, but these are known more of causing allergic reactions. Histamines can trigger headaches, and there are more of these present in red wines than whites. So there's also, Histamines. Okay, so histamines can trigger headaches, and the sulfites maybe. What drinks are good for? Why does red wine give you headache? Here's another one. Recent research has found that food and drinks that have been aged, such as that's the same thing in regards of. To prevent a histamine headache, simply take a histamine blocker, such as claret. Yeah, again, maybe don't drink it. If it gives you a headache. And again, there was not even alcohol in the things that I got yesterday. You would expect, when you get a headache from drinking a lot of alcohol that I've done a lot in my youth, then you expect that you are not, the next day you're pretty much down. But actually also getting an extra bonus by just drinking red wine, oh, that's just bad. If red wine often gives you a headache, consider steering clear of wine made from thick-skinned grapes like Zinfandel, Syrah, and Cabernet, and choose a wine made from a tin-skipped grape. Yeah, well, anyway. But again, it seems like there's some different ideas why and why not it gives you a headache. Again, it should be easily tested, right? It shouldn't be the big brainy thing of just testing it. If it's the sulfite, well, try make people drink some sulfites. If it doesn't have any thing in regards of the headache, well, maybe it's not that. Then try the other thing, the histamines, and drink that without the other things and see, do you get a headache of that? And if something of those two things make a headache, maybe that's the cause, right? So I don't think it should be that, or maybe it's a combination of those two or whatever. It should just, it shouldn't be that hard to test. I think. Maybe, of course, in regards of different people would have different issues, but it shouldn't be a hard thing to find out. Again, maybe it's because of money again, Finding out something is not good or something like that may actually be costing a lot of money for someone. Mike told me they are also added to preserve the wine. Sulfites or sulfuric compounds that occur natural in wine, Mike told me, and they are also added to preserve the wine. So they are natural, but they are also added to the wine. Could you make up your mind here? So maybe they're natural, but they are adding more. Who knows? In regards to preserving the wine better. But some natural biodynamic or organic winemakers will add it as little additional sulfite as possible. Hence their natural labels, but they're still adding to it. But sulfites are necessary to stabilize the wine, Mike said. They stop the wine from fermenting once it has been bottled. The legal sulfite addition is 350 parts per billion. So there's apparently most wines have about 120 parts per million, and low sulfite wines have between 0 to 20 parts per million. And sulfites can actually occur up to 40 parts per million. Or can natural occur up to 40 parts per million. So if it can... Okay, low sulfite wines have between 0 and 20. So natural, it can only get to 40 parts per million. But apparently it's allowed to 350 parts per million. So that's a lot, that's a lot more than natural can be found in the product. I wonder in regards when they made wine, in regards to wineskin, at some point, doesn't the fermentation process slow down of itself? And if it slows down of itself, would it then be a problem actually bottling it? I don't know. Still, wine writer Alice Farrion says that if you get red wine headaches consistently, you should try natural or biodynamic wine that has lower amount of sulfites added. or at least only molecular elemental sulfur, rather than commercial petrochemical sulfur. So it seems like it's not totally natural, and this was just a cheap wine. So again, there may have been some. It doesn't actually says was it. This just says is contains sulfites. There's no other information on the bottle itself, if they actually have added anything or how much there is in it. You know, one would maybe it would be a good thing to actually tell the people how much is in the product, how much should be in a product or something. Oh, we just went to 4 megabytes. I'll stop it now.